Okay. So good morning, everyone. I welcome you to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee meeting for Thursday, August 28th, 2025. And with us, we have, Sep Paul Sohal, who represents the hoteliers. We have Dave Bills, who's in the room there, who do you represent, Dave?
Tumwater Area Chamber of Commerce.
There you go. And myself, Councilmember Swarthout, who's chairing the committee, and David's, and then we probably have Brian, who's out fighting fires, right? But he's not able to join us today, our fourth member. So with that, we have roll call, and we'll go ahead and see. We need to, so before we accept the agenda here, got it in yellow that we need to move request to amend the agenda to move item 5 to hold a position to after after item 8. Is that what you're asking for? We're looking for it here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So do we have a motion to move item 5 to after item 8?
I'll move to move item 5 to after item 8.
Thank you.
And I'll second that.
Okay. All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. It looks like we're having Brian will be joining us here in a moment. So
Brian is here somehow. I'm working on the rest of it.
okay. Hey, Brian. Welcome. All right. So with that, they sent us, Brian, I can send out the agenda to you right now. We're looking at, if you don't have that with you on top, they just sent out the agenda. We just moved an item 5 to 8. So now we're going to be on item number 4 for the hotelier recruitment. And so
Okay.
Go ahead. So Kelly, are you leading this discussion or?
Thank you so much. So while I pull up the presentation, my name's Kelly Adams. I joined the city in February. I'm the Assistant City Administrator, and I have quite a few years of experience with lodging tax, so it is near and dear to my heart. And I am going to get this full screen and get the party started. All right. There's a 1 second of delay. There we go. So it's great to meet you all, and I am going to attempt to make this as quick and painless as possible. So the intent of this meeting is to have kind of a pre-session to introduce myself and to collect up some of your priorities. So the first item on our agenda is the vacancy. So beyond just missing having a wonderful hotelier with us, we are concerned that this may create a risk of not being able to meet quorum as we move through the season, have issues come up, have people need to be absent. And we would like to go out to our local lodging facilities to recruit. But it would be really helpful, especially as a newbie, to know what information would be helpful to share with hoteliers to motivate them to want to serve on LTAC. And so I'd love to check in with you all and ask for that information.
This is Brian. Does that mean that you're going to be doing the recruiting and contacting these hoteliers?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, I honestly think, in my opinion, I mean, any hotelier you can get on board is a good thing. I know we got one owner for the two new hotels. I mean, I do know the owner, but I don't think he will probably. I mean, he's got lots of other things going on. He might not be interested. Maybe the GM would be. I know her pretty well too. She's used to be my GM at my hotel. So, and I think you tried the Best Western before, right?
Yes, we have.
And that's still the same ownership. I think he came on, then left. I don't know what happened there. I would definitely try the Holiday Inn Express and then the Spark for sure. See if there's interest there. And then if you
To be clear, sorry, go ahead.
And I don't happen to have that owner's number, but I can always make a call. If you do have the number, I'll be more than happy to make a call to him and tell him the importance of being involved on this committee in Tumwater, because he does own 2 hotels there now.
Great. And there's certainly, as staff, we are not selecting the candidates, but we know that your time is very limited, so we want to do that on the ground outreach. So I'll be stopping by those facilities to introduce the program, but it's really helpful from your perspective. Like, I can do the sell, but sometimes they see a bureaucrat, they see a government worker, and it's helpful to know from your perspective what you enjoy about this or what's beneficial to you about participating in LTAC as a hotelier.
And you're absolutely fine to share my cell phone number with them, to give me, have them give me a call. Because I would like nothing more than to have a couple more people on this board representing the hotels. It's just me,
Yeah.
So it's kind of, if I'm out or something, then it's it doesn't quite work either. So
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
And you having that ability to make that contact too, so probably awesome. There is also the new hotels that'll be opening, or the hotel that'll be opening there by Home Depot.
Mhm.
Yeah, is that the one you're speaking of? Who will be building that one as well, or?
I do know them too, actually, and they're a very active group, and I'm sure that they would probably love to be on the board too.
Mhm.
I don't know when the completion date on that project is.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that would be awesome if we could have both facilities, both.
yeah, because they have quite a few hotels up and down I-5, and I'm sure
Mhm.
they would be more than happy to.
Mhm.
They probably want to be on it for sure.
That'd be great to have your endorsement, to have your backing. That'd be great to be able to reach out to them with your endorsement. That'd be super.
So that is everything I have for that agenda item, Chair.
Okay. All right. So then we moved 5. So now we'll be going on to item number 6, which is preparation for the September funding interviews. So take it away, Kelly.
So this is for the benefit of the public, applicants, and media who are watching. So the purpose of this committee, of course, is to develop a recommendation for City Council for the lodging tax funds that we receive. And our process is codified in Tumwater Municipal Code, Chapter 3.12. Our Tumwater lodging tax, as the committee knows, is a 4% tax on hotel and motel nights. And 2% is allocated to tourism-generated events and marketing. 2% is allocated to tourism-related historical and cultural preservation. In 2025, this is just a general snapshot of the organizations that you recommended funding for. And so we'll notice that the 2 amounts are not equal. That's because the committee has the ability to add unspent funds to the amount. And so I look forward to helping you with 2026 and seeing all the great presentations that we will see in September. Our funding award timeline, so we opened the application online on August 1st. We transitioned to an online form. We did not fundamentally change your questions. That is something that for the next season, we may discuss to try to make that a more accessible form and to prioritize information that you need to know as a committee. We have this meeting on the 28th. Applications are due tomorrow. Applications will be available for you, an entire packet, and whatever data and analysis you request, that'll be available on the 19th of September. So that should give you some time before the presentations on the 29th. And then we have tentatively scheduled your award recommendation to go on the consent calendar for City Council on October 21st. And then in 2026, we work through the contract administration with the awardees. So going back there, that is everything that we have for the current September funding interviews. Are there any questions from the committee on the process this year?
No questions from me.
Nope, I'm good.
You have the benefit of having some tenure on the committee, which is fantastic.
Let's see, Brian, how many years is this for you, sir?
a long time. It's probably over 20. I'm not really even sure. I was trying to remember when LTAC actually came into existence.
Right?
I've read back to 2013, I think. So it's been, yeah, I've been reading all your minutes and it's been a hot minute.
Kelly is prepared. She's very prepared.
Brian, your original appointment was May 16th of 2000.
Oh,
Wow.
Laura. Wow. Oh, wow.
25 years.
You are the OG.
Great. Now you guys all aged me.
I think that means that we're having a cake at the presentations. That's pretty amazing, 25 years.
How long
All
is
right, that's everything I have for this.
how long has LTAC been in existence?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't have that information at hand, but I can try to dig and find it real quick.
So if we go back in time, I'm going to go back in some slides. So resolution R97, that occurred in 1997. So that's as far back as I could go with Tumwater.
Well, actually, if you look at
Oh, goodness.
this resolution establishing the lodging tax committee was 1997.
Yeah, yeah. So the state, right? When did they do that? Came up with that.
That's when it was. That's when it began, and then
Hmm.
probably 98 or 99 is when Tumwater's system started.
All right, so I've gone too far there. So that's everything that I have for our funding interviews.
Okay. All right. So then the next item you were pulling up, alluding to, is the OPMA training reminders. And so, boy, do we have to do that too?
Yes, I am, you get to do that, right?
We get to do that. What an opportunity. So
It
this,
is,
now
it
is this
very,
new? This is new to us, right? I'm
No,
sure
we've done this. Speaking from the council before, I have done this already myself.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So it's online. I think the link is already there, it looks like.
Okay.
And it's pretty simple process. I think it's information that everybody already knows. And Eileen, you probably actually already qualify. You've probably already done something like this.
Right. We get it on a regular basis for the council. So, but I was just wondering about the four of us having to do it as a team, so that we haven't had to do it together. So yeah, thank you.
we'll be sending you a link. The link that's here, we'll send it to you as well in an email so that you can do this for the comfort of your home.
Thank you.
So, and also, of course, any new people that come into the program, we're going to have them do this
Absolutely.
as soon as they enter.
Yeah.
So, that's the one part that won't be exciting for them to be recruited with. Is you all of a sudden have to do government paperwork.
That doesn't mean I can't help with popcorn and snack support. Yeah.
You got to be careful because, you know, if you remember whoever's done this before, it needs to be explained to them before they get into it, because if you go right into it, it's kind of scary. It basically says anything you touch with government information now becomes, you know, openable to the public.
Public record. Yeah.
So you don't want your own laptops and phones and everything else with this stuff on it, because in theory, legally, that becomes open to public and the record. But that will scare somebody. So it's got to be careful with these things.
Yeah.
See, now that's the benefit of having a committee member for 25 years. Says all the right things. All right, that's all I have on OPMA training reminders.
Okay, so let's see, and then we'll be moving on to the item number 8 then.
So this is this is one of the efforts that I'm working on, and this is I call this the advisory board improvement work. So this applies to advisory boards and commissions. So as the city has grown, as council has added advisory boards and commissions, I want to make sure that whatever we've done in the past and whatever the basic minimum requirements are, that we are capturing it and communicating it in plain talk, making this as easy for new and current advisory boards and commissions members to understand what those constraints are. And also, I want to capture the unique processes and priorities that you have as commissions and boards. LTAC is a little bit easier because it's determined by the state for the most part, but your Tumwater priorities and the way that you make decisions is not determined by the state. So my first what I've been working on is to go and visit all of the boards and commissions, read through the histories, and make sure that we are trying to align this with what council, the information council is asking for. And so again, for lodging tax, that's pretty simple because it's a budget recommendation, right? And so this is where we go into that charter piece where I will be reaching out to you in the next few months to interview you about your processes and some things that we can do to improve your experience on LTAC. And really that's so that when we do get future members, we can hand them that maybe an advisory board handbook and the charter. Like, look at the charter in the back, and this tells you the culture of LTAC.
Mhm.
And so just trying to capture some of that institutional knowledge and make sure that there are actual requests from council that are very clear to the advisory boards and commissions. Any questions on that?
I don't have a question. I just basically have a statement probably that I think it's important that any new members realize that the RCWs really drive what this is all about and what
Mhm.
what the council here can do.
Mhm.
We are really driven, hidden, or held to the RCWs that are already planned. We kind of just work within those. So those RCWs are probably in first place, and then resolutions and council stuff probably after that. So it's just
Mhm.
something to think about.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
And so adding on to this idea, so Brittany and I are working as a team on lodging tax in the executive department. And I want to make sure you understand all of the resources that you have available as far as us as staff. And so we'll continue to provide data, to create financial analysis for you, and to provide administrative support. But what we can also do is provide you prioritization. So if you decide as a committee that location is important to you, we can prioritize or show you an analysis where applications that are in the city limits in UGA, we can show you which ones of those could be prioritized. We can prioritize by a type of event. So you want to see more events like the air show or Brewfest, something like that. We can prioritize that way. Do you want to see new events in the community? Do you want to prioritize certain kinds of organizations, nonprofit versus profit? Do you want to focus on organizations that have lower overhead, lower administrative costs? What we can do in the short term is provide you tables and analysis of which applications meet those priorities. What we can do in the long term is actually assign a point total to different questions so that immediately as applicants are filling out the form, certain answers have put them higher up in the priority. So that's something that's possible to you in the future, if that would be helpful to your decision making. And then we also intend to provide quarterly reports on the funding progress so that you are more aware of what the spending is looking like throughout the year. And that would not be meetings, that would be, we can send those through email, we can post those on the website because these are public funds. This is all public record. So as the city grows, the intention is not to give you more work as a committee, but as we grow and as we receive more and more complex applications, we would like to make this task straightforward, documented, and effective. And that is all I have.
I can tell you from the 25 years that I've been doing this, that the city staff has done a remarkable job in assisting the committee on basically building this program and modifying it continuously throughout the years. And there has been a lot of work to clean this up, make it better workable.
Mhm.
So just from an experience standpoint, I think we've done pretty good up till now. You bring a lot of experience to the table, obviously, and a
Mhm.
lot of ideas.
Mhm.
I think we've covered and gone through a lot of stuff multiple times throughout the years, including having another meeting after funding. We probably do that every, I don't know, 4 or 5 years to readjust the
Mhm.
actual funding requests. For example, we have some complaints that it was just too complex and too complicated for the requesters. So we went back through and tried to simplify some things to get more people to make requests. Because what we found out was people were looking at our application and just, it was so far over their head, they just gave up and they didn't apply. And that completely goes opposite of what this council's supposed to be doing. So those are the kind of things that we have to be cautious of, is scaring people away. And I'm talking about small organizations that don't have a lot of overhead and a lot of people that can help them fill these applications out. We don't want to scare those organizations away. They may be new organizations that could grow into something big, and we don't want to kill it on the first day. So I'm just cautious of making the application too complex.
Really. And to add to that, that's kind of the spoiler alert for next year is I would like the committee to approve the application before it's released. So having us draft a clearer and easier to complete application to reduce that barrier, that's the spoiler alert for next year.
Now, I'm not saying we may not have already done that. I'm just saying, I'm just
Yeah.
bringing up past history. What I don't want to do is increase the complexity if there's no reason
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, I believe,
Absolutely.
Kelly, you've been going through, because so some of the questions that are on there were compelled by the RCW to that we have to ask, because even though it's hard for them to have to guesstimate how many, there's some of the questions that we're compelled to ask, but some of them that you do have the flexibility as far as trying to simplify the application. So, we've had that discussion. So it would be nice to see when you do, when that application comes out, and so we'll have a chance to review that. So yeah, because it is kind of cumbersome. So we agree.
It started
Well,
out
that
real
is the-
simple. I can tell you that. It was very simple in the beginning, and we really changed it around a whole lot from its original inception.
Okay.
One of the things that might be of more of assistance is legal support from the city attorney when we're doing some things, just to make sure that we are staying within the RCWs, that nobody gets off on a tangent line that puts us outside the RCW. I think that's important. It's really
Well,
nice.
that
It's
is
really
a-
nice when you have a city attorney in a meeting and say, "Can we do this?" And they say yes. We're like, "All right, there we go."
Yeah. Yes. Always
So I
appreciate
actually
that.
coordinated with the city attorney before this meeting. So I wanted to make the best use of her time. So she is available for any questions. And so I have her on chat.
Okay,
But we'll make
Yeah.
sure that that support is available to you during the presentations.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for, to have that support during the presentation, so we as a committee can decide if we want to change something, if we're doing it within the law.
It's
All
definitely.
right. I'm going to
Okay.
stop
Okay.
sharing for a moment so you can talk to each other face to face. There we go.
Talking about members, so how many members are allowed on this committee?
Currently 5. There was a proposal to increase to 7 a few years back, but that was rejected. So it is 5.
So
Yeah,
with the 5, so what's the breakdown of the attractions, and then hoteliers, and then city?
So 2 hoteliers, 2 people who receive lodging tax funds, who collect it, and then 2 program representatives who have received funding in the past, and then 1 council representative.
So it's 2 and 2 and 1. Got it.
Yeah, I believe that's per the law, actually. It's how it started that way. Now, we did try to increase it to 7, but we can't keep it at 5, so that's kind of why that went down. And we were trying to add another 1 of each, but it was not sustainable, at least not yet.
So are you planning on finding another hotelier for our next meeting and getting them on board?
I am planning on recruiting and then staying in communication with the chair, because I believe the mayor appoints the lodging tax committee member.
So the goal is
So
to
the intent, best case scenario is yes, we would have that before the presentations, but that's a best case scenario.
They
Worst
would-
case scenario is we do not.
They would have to complete the training, and I don't know, that's a lot to do between now and the presentations.
Got it. And then I do have one other request regarding the packets. In the past, we've got the packets like just a few days before the meeting, those are big, thick packets, a lot of information, and I just personally love to go through the packet and actually compare those numbers from the last year to see if they actually put heads in my beds, you know.
Yeah.
And I can very easily do that. And then if I get them too short of a notice, unfortunately, I sometimes simply can't do it. And then
Mhm.
as soon as if we can get them sooner, and I do prefer the digital version because otherwise you drop them off at the hotel, and I might not go to the hotel once a month, and then it just doesn't do anything for me sitting there either, you know. So I don't know, are they digital?
Yes, we can put together a PDF packet for you with
Okay.
bookmarks so that you can navigate through it quickly.
And how far before the meeting can we get this information? That's what I think he's really asking.
We had originally scheduled the 19th. Do you need that earlier?
And the meeting is when?
The 29th,
So 10 days?
10 days.
That should be fine.
I agree with that.
Great.
If I can review them in 10 days, then it's a problem, so. Unless I'm on vacation, but.
I think this is a success. We've done this in 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes.
All right. Okay, gentlemen, do we have any other questions? All right, so with that, if we don't have any other questions, then I will call the Thursday, August 28th, 2025 Lodging Tax Advisory Committee meeting adjourned. Thank you for taking time today and thank you, Kelly and Brittany, for putting this together, and Dave for being there in person. And we will see everyone on the 29th for our first round, or our round of distributions this year. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
All right.
you.
Take care, everyone.